And so this meeting is currently officially on record. And so, for the purpose of those who might not be available or part of the meeting tonight, as our custom, we normally record these meetings to ensure that other people follow up. And so, I want to appreciate us all for yet another opportunity and also privilege to be in this meeting tonight, and also to be part of those who are still breathing today, because a lot is happening around the world and so many things are happening that uh, those of us who are privileged to be alive today, it is indeed uh, a thing of joy and also a miracle. And so I want to also use this medium to appreciate our able leaders and also all our administrators across all the regions, especially some of the regions where we are very much active when it comes to the migration aspect. Of course, you will all know that we have attained another milestone. As usual, whenever you see a meeting scheduled, this is to show us that we are getting more closer. And so I want to also specially use this medium to thank His Royal Highness Joshua Makamatakar from the southern part of Kaduna State. They have done extremely beyond expectation. And so this is one of the regions that have tremendously contributed in their little effort to ensure that we keep moving despite the challenges and also the criticisms from that region. They are very focused to the mission and also the vision, which is for us to get the required expected numbers on the exchange. And I also want to specially appreciate Madam Favor independently for her tremendous effort. She has been one of the resilient sponsors, I think, from the beginning of this migration process up till date. There has never been a week that will pass and Madam Favor did not sponsor at least 4 to 10 migrations. She has been one of the most dedicated sponsors, even much more dedicated than some of our humanitarians. And as a matter of fact, she has migrated a lot of people. And so there will be so many people from the humanitarian allocation that will benefit and also attain the incredible wealth that we have been stating here because of Madam Favor. She is very selfless. She has been sacrificing a lot to also ensure that we keep moving. And so I want to specially appreciate her for that effort and also commend her for the resilience. She is a visionary. Not too many people understand where we are headed or where we are going. And so this is one of the reasons why a lot of people are not paying attention or rather focus to this particular mission. And so I also want to appreciate Reverend Enaturu and his entire team from the southern part of Nigeria, and even the northeast eastern part of Nigeria, talking about our community out of Yola in Adamawa State, and also other regions that I might not mention one after the other. And I also want to appreciate Mr. Johnson from Bong County and the entire team, who is now our national administrator for IWC in Liberia. And also, I want to sincerely use this medium to appreciate Madam Zelin and her team out of Maryland for the resilience and also for the effort she has also invested in. Most at times, because of the network challenge, she doesn't normally come on board, and also a lot of us, especially in our Western African region, we are faced with connectivity challenges. Ever since we stepped into the new year, I noticed that sometimes the internet can go completely out, and so we appreciate those of us who are always consistent. And I also want to thank our team out of Togo for demonstrating their commitment and also resilience as well. And also not forget to appreciate our team out of Sierra Leone. Mohammed is not yet in the house. And all those who have been very, very proactive in this migration process. It has never been an easy task from day one. And so we have people among us who are just sitting, folding their arms and waiting for the entire process to be over so they can come in and begin to cash out. And so, if you want to know how difficult it is to attain 1,000 migrations, find out from the administrators how long will it take them to sign up or to migrate 100 persons. That will tell you how administrators and even myself, we have sometimes in a day can barely sleep up to 3 hours just to ensure that we keep getting the results that we have been getting or attaining up till this moment. Sometimes I can hardly sleep even 2 hours in a day within 24 hours. We have been very busy working back to back and also round the clock. And so it is not an easy task to migrate 100 persons, not to even talk of 1,000 persons, and also not to talk of the 50 something thousand that we have attained currently at the moment. So it has never been an easy journey. Everything that will last longer does not come easy. And so look at other case study or scenario, and then some of us who have been part of some other projects, you will notice that along the way, some of these projects will die off because of lack of focus, lack of commitment. Thousands of projects will come online, do their ICO, and also generate funding, but at the end of the day, will fold off. Some will come in form of airdrops. Some will come in form of mining, just like how Bitcoin started. But it takes focus. It takes total commitment to ensure that you get to the finish line. And so IWC is a sacred mission. If you look at projects that are today a household name, we are talking about Bitcoin being the father of cryptocurrencies, and also talking about Ethereum, Binance, and other altcoins out there in the market. Go through the history and also look at the entire roadmap of how this project started before they can become where they are today. Today, Bitcoin is a multi billion dollar project. The same thing accrued to Binance and Ethereum. And so for IWC to attain a multi billion dollar project requires a lot of work and requires also patience. And so when we started, some of us or people amongst us, we had a lot that has happened, so many criticisms, and also a lot of challenges that we encounter on the way. But today we are gradually getting closer and closer as the days passed. And so I want to sincerely appreciate the entire house for holding up and also for your patience and resilience. It has never been an easy journey, neither an easy task, but we will certainly get there very soon. There are a lot of people who are seated waiting to see what IWC becomes. So we will advise you to be patient. Not too long from now, you will begin to marvel. And so, as at this evening, we have a total of 53,027 completed migrations on the exchange. And so, we have less than 2,000 migrations to come in order for us to be able to begin trading on the incredible exchange. And so we are now 53,027 completed migrations. And so we are currently heading to 54,000. And so those of you who were asking, there are some questions that, and also some issues that some of our subscribers have encountered already from this early stage. One of the things I would like to advise each and every one of us here in the community, number one, is to ensure the safety of your account details. Always ensure the safety of your account details. Now, we already have people sending me complaints how they cannot log into their account, they can't access their account anymore. And so the first thing that you must ensure that you do is that you must ensure that your email details, the email you are using to create your account on the Incredible Exchange, ensure that you have access to that email, or ensure that you store or back up the details of that email, which has to do with your password for that email, and possibly if you activate your two-factor authenticator on that email, ensure that that email is kept safe or that details are properly backed up. Reason being is because should in case some of you lose your mobile phones or your gadgets in the process, ensure that you have a specific email that even if they wake you up from sleep tonight, you will be able to remember the login details to that email. So I am giving you this expose so that those of us who are found of misplacing your details, you will be conscious. And so it is very important for you to note that if you lose access to your email, you lose access to your details, you lose access to your information, you lose access to your digital assets. Now, the next thing that I want us to take note of is your two-factor authenticator key. I have made this emphasis from the beginning of this process up till this moment. And so I want to highlight some of these challenges that few other persons from Nigeria, from Togo, and that of Liberia are going through currently at the moment. I have a situation or a report or a case of people coming back to complain, I do not have access to my password. I do not have access to my two-factor authenticator, or I cannot log into my account. If you are faced if you are faced with some of these challenges, you are the one I'm addressing because such incident has been reported from several locations. And so that is why I'm taking my time to address these issues tonight. Why? Because I wouldn't want a situation whereby people will begin to call me when we start trading, asking for entrance or gaining access to their account. You will have to do it by yourself. And so if you misplace your password, you don't even need to call me. All you need to do is to go to reset password. And so when you click on the reset password, you will enter the email that was used to create that account, and a code will be automatically sent to you from the exchange to reset your password. This is one of the reasons why I made emphasis about your email. Ensure that you do not lose access to the emails that you are using to create accounts. In case of all of these challenges, you can be able to go back to your details. Some of you who don't know how to save you can save your detail or your access details on your draft on your Gmail. So even if it's 100 years from today, you will still gain access to those details. Just save it on your draft and then leave it there, or you can create another email or use the opportunity to transfer or send message to maybe another email of yours so that that message will remain within your email. And so some of you who don't know about Google storage, you might not be able to buy a Google storage to save your details because you will have to make payment to that effect. But that of the email saving on your draft is very much easier and it is free of charge. And so I will also advise all of you who are on the Incredible Exchange to ensure that you back up your email, your free Gmail, with two-factor authentication so that hackers will not have access to your email. For your information, those of you who are not aware, your email can be hacked just the same way they can gain access to your Facebook or your X, which is the formerly known as Instagram, Twitter, and also Instagram. Sorry. And so, if someone hack your email and takes control of your email, you might not be able to gain track or retrieve that email any longer. And so, in order to be on the safer side, you should ensure that you activate two-factor authentication on your email as well. Some of you may not be aware about this information. And so once you activate your 2FA on your Gmail, your free Gmail, you will be able to secure all your data and also your details on that Gmail. Because even if someone tries to hack, without them providing the two-factor authenticator code, they will not be able to have access to your Gmail. And so the next thing is the two-factor authenticator key is different from the two-factor authentication code to activate. And so the key is made up of different characters, a combination of letters and numbers, mostly caps. And so ensure that during sign up, or those of you who never saved your two-factor authenticator key, ensure that you log back into your account and have it saved so that you can be able to gain access to your account even when you lose your phone or you lose your laptop or any gadget. And so once you have that authenticator code, even if your phone is misplaced or stolen, you can get a new phone, log back into your email, and also retrieve your details and have it saved and also accessed. With that, easily you can access your account details back. And so another way you can save your details is either you can save it on a DVD, you can buy a CD or a DVD, record your details and burn it in that DVD, or you can get a pen drive or a flash drive. Store your information and have it kept somewhere where no one have access to it. And so why I'm taking my time to do this, give us this orientation, is because once we begin trading and people are beginning to trade with their account and you lose track of your account, nobody can help you to gain access to that without providing these informations that I have stated. And so even when you try to contact the support, they will continually ask you for the same details. And so ensure that you have these details safe. Your email address should be kept safe, and also the email access details that you are using to create that account should be kept safe. Should, in case you don't know your two-factor authenticator key, now that you can still gain access to your account, log in there and go to security area. You will be able to copy your two-factor authenticator key and also have it saved on your draft. And so this will help to reduce a lot of issues and also a lot of people complaining regarding their loss of details, or maybe having difficulty to gain access into their account. And so kindly ensure that you do all of this. And so in response to a question that was posed, today is no longer a rumor, and also it is no longer a story regarding the current happenings around the world. A lot is happening and also happening in our world today. And so, those of us who have been following, I have given so much information regarding what is happening globally. And so, those of you who are current are also following, seeing the entire happenings around the globe. And so we are currently waking up to the existing reality that the SWIFT system, which is the fiat system, is gradually going down. And so, for those of you who are not aware, we are currently no longer in a unipolar world, but we are now presently in a multipolar world where the world is no longer controlled by the SWIFT system. And so, looking at what is happening, if you look at the currency in your country and even the global reserve currencies that we have today, talking about the US dollars, the euro, the pounds, they are gradually losing relevance in the in the global League of Nations. And so April 1st, which is next week, for those of you who are not aware, last in our last meeting, I told us that the BRICS alliance of nations are coming up with a blockchain. And so the BRICS currency will officially be another currency reserve for BRICS nations. We talk about Russia, India, China, Brazil, and South Africa, coupled with other nations. I think Saudi Arabia and other countries are also aligning with BRICS nations, and also the BRICS currency is backed by gold. The US dollar is backed by nothing. And so that is why it is losing relevance, and it will lose relevance as the global reserve. And so The last time we had a meeting, I encouraged those of us, I think it was in an audio update. Ensure that you have your investments and also your assets not kept in the banks, but get your assets, either convert your assets either in properties or in digital assets or in commodities. Convert your assets in either properties or digital assets or in commodities. When we talk about digital asset, it might not be necessarily IWC. We have USDT, we have BNB, we have Ethereum, we have IWC, we have other cryptocurrencies. You can also have your asset in commodities such as gold, diamond, and other valuables that have been proven to gain relevance for over 4,000 years ago, even before we arrived this planet Earth. Reason being is because beginning from April going forward, so many things are going to happen. So many people might not gain access to their monies in the banks. What I'm telling you is a reality. And so I am sharing this information because this is my community. And I need to bring that to our notice so that some of us will not say, oh, I do not know. Or some of us will not say, if I had known, I would have taken a giant step to ensure that my commodities or my asset has been transformed. And so when you click on, okay, Madam Favor, I will respond to your message. Just click on add device over there and also impute your two-factor authenticator code from your two-factor, from your 2FA, and straight away it will open for you to be able to copy your 2FA, two-factor authenticator key. And so I will respond to that shortly after the meeting. And so having your assets in either properties or digital assets or commodities makes it more safer. Why? Because those of you who have been banking for decades or who are currently banking, you will notice that every penny you have in your bank is no increasing, is not increasing, and is also not appreciating in value, but rather depreciating on a daily basis. The value of that currency is depreciating, and your account balance is not growing, but rather depreciating as well. And so ensure that you become more wiser. Why? Because what is happening today around the world is a shift. There is a seismic shift going on. All the wars that are happening right now and everything that is happening around the world will going to gradually transform and also destroy the entire SWIFT system completely, and then it will officially usher the whole world into the fourth industrial revolution fully, and also digitization. And so, what you are seeing happening around the world is not a coincidence. The wiser or the faster you act, the easier it becomes for you in the nearest future. And so, for those of us who came in very late, we have a total of 53,027 completed migrations on the exchange. And so that takes us to uh, we are left with roughly 1,973 migrations to get on the exchange for trading activities to begin. And so we have already gone 35 minutes into the meeting. And so I would like to know if there are comments or contributions on the forum tonight. For now, I have not seen any comment yet on the comment section. Only for the questions, some people are dropping messages for me on WhatsApp. You are supposed to drop your messages here on the comment section where we can respond to your questions to the hearing of others. And so, if you are going to activate or want to see where your two factor authenticator code is, once you click on security, you go on the 2FA section, click on add device. It will ask you to impute the 6 digit 30 seconds code from your 2FA. So go there, copy it very fast, place it there. And so once you click on add device, it will open your two-factor authenticator key right in your account. Have it copied and also save it somewhere very safe. I already have answered some of those questions. I explained from the beginning, maybe some of you came in late. And so stop sending me messages on WhatsApp. Kindly send those messages here in the chat room so that other people can also get to follow up with your comments and also your messages. And so I am going to respond to you shortly. Yes, Mr. Raymond, you are raising up your hands. You can kindly unmute your mic. Let's hear from you very quickly.
Yeah, good evening, all.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. My question is that now that I don't know whether you've heard, now that Binance has issue with the Nigerian government
Yes.
concerning tax evasions and all that. They want to suspend Nigerians, blah blah blah, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is that uh, now that we are migrating, is there any way that we are going to be affected? Is there any way that IWC will be affected in our trading? Because I want to know, because I know we are migrating to Binance. IWC is migrating to Binance. If I'm not wrong. So with the challenges that is happening now, Binance with Nigerian government now, is there any way that is it going to affect us in our trading when the trading starts now? Is it going to affect us, sir?
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. I think I have extensively elaborate on the Binance issue 2 weeks ago, both on my audio updates and also on the previous meeting. But let me reiterate what I said concerning the suspension of the P2P on Binance. We are not trading on Binance Exchange. We are trading on IWC Exchange. One. Two, Binance is not the only exchange that is actually trading using the P2P on the Naira section. We have other exchanges like KuCoin, Coinbase, and also what is this? Luno. We have several exchanges that you can actually buy your cryptocurrencies directly, just like the way you buy from Binance P2P. Even with the suspension of the P2P on Binance, you can still buy cryptocurrency if you are from Nigeria, but using your domiciliary card on the Binance platform. Now, in responding to your concern, we are not going to be affected in any way trading on our exchange because we are on the Binance blockchain. IWC is an exchange itself, just like the Binance exchange. Now, talking about the issue of Binance, Binance was suspended for reasons best known to the Nigerian government from their claims. Binance was suspended because they do not have a certificate of incorporation from the Nigerian Corporate Affairs Commission. as they claimed, and also they are claiming that Binance is illegally making raising commissions in millions of dollars from the Nigerian market without registering with the Nigerian Corporate Affairs Commission, and also without having to register with the Security and Exchange Commission of Nigeria in order to operate or allowed Nigerians to trade on their platforms. And so, in this regard, the Nigerian government, via Security and Exchange Commission, demanded that Binance will pay a fine of $10 billion for having to operate without having to secure a Corporate Affairs Commission certification from the Nigerian government. Now, in response to what happened on the Binance platform, Binance, yes, Binance may not have the certificate of incorporation, but Binance can operate anywhere in the world. Binance, as a digital currency, can operate in any country of the world. And so, this, like I told us, was just a mere propaganda to shy many Nigerians away from cryptocurrency. How many times will I say this? So Binance not trading on the P2P section, or people can not longer buy USDT or Bitcoin, or rather sell or buy Naira on the Binance exchange, that does not mean that it is going to affect IWC. IWC is only hosted on the Binance blockchain. So transactions and activities that happens on the Incredible Wealth Coin platform has nothing to do with what has happened with Binance. And so I want you to get that clear. And then secondly, IWC is registered in all the countries because we understood the propaganda. We have our certificate of incorporation even with the Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria. And so that is why IWC also have a corporate account, of which most of you have been sending your transaction through that medium, if not everyone here from Nigeria. And so Binance does not have that. And so that is what the Nigerian government is using as a yardstick. But the question is, there are other platforms right now. When you go to KuCoin Exchange, you will discover that people are trading P2P, buying and selling, just like what is happening on Binance, on the KuCoin Exchange. When you go to Coinbase, when you go to SuperX Exchange, when you go to Luno, when you go to CEX.io, I can name several exchanges or platforms. And so it was just a propaganda because Binance is more popular than those exchanges. And even some of these government officials have their digital assets on Binance. And so, using that as a yardstick, Binance even offered to pay $10 million. The Nigerian government, or Security Exchange Commission rather, is demanding for $10 billion. And so that was how Binance suspended the P2P trading on the Nigerian platform. So if Binance does not pay that money, or could not at the end of the day come to a compromise with the Nigerian government, Binance is still trading 24 hours as we speak. So with the Nigerian government or not, it will never stop Binance from becoming what it is. Nigerians are still trading on the Binance platform using several other mediums. And so we will be talking about those mediums when we begin trading. And so do not panic because of what is going on. if the Nigerian government wants to suspend the entire digital asset trading in Nigeria, they will have to begin by suspending everything in the whole of Africa, not only Nigeria, which is not possible. And so do not panic. Whatever is happening on the Binance platform will not in any way affect our transactions or trading activities on the Incredible Wealth coin. Reason being is because once the trading begins, the P2P section only warrants individuals, buyers, and sellers interacting with each other directly from the exchange. And then at the end of the day, execute their transactions via bank transfers if need be. And so, those of us who are not too conversant with the crypto transactions and tradings, that is another topic for another day entirely. I will take us through several other mediums that you can easily trade. You can even be in Nigeria here. You can sign up an account either under Ghana or under Liberia or under Cameroon and trade on the Binance platform. Exchange your money from Nigeria here, send it to those other accounts. There are several other mediums that I'm going to take that tutorial once we are closer to the trading aspect, so that those of you who are not too conversant with what is happening, you will be able to get an insight on how you can go about trading. But coming to the issue of whether or not this will affect IWC, there are so many other projects that are hosted on the Binance blockchain. Today, they are still trading without any interference whatsoever. And so that in any way will not affect us. Yes, thank you so much for that question. And so I will make it more elaborate when we begin trading. I have gone through, this is Jala Miller from Liberia saying, I have gone through the process of migration plus one sponsorship, but how can I know my account details? Um, how were you able to migrate and also do your sponsorship, Mr. Miller? Probably you can get to who did your sponsorship. You can unmute your mic because we just have few seconds to wrap this meeting up. Mr. Miller, you can unmute your mic. If you can hear me, unmute your mic, maybe just a few seconds. How are you
Yes,
doing?
as I said,
Yes.
I'm okay. I follow the process using Johnson Nileke.
Oh, that's great.
Johnson was the one that, yeah, Johnson was the one that received all what he was to receive, and then he
Mm.
told me that he was going to send the information to town. But it
Yes.
has passed a week. I've not reached to him yet, so that's the issue.
No, try and get to Johnson. If you have done your migration and your sponsorship, get to Johnson for your account details. So when you get to him, he will be able to give you your login details and also your two-factor authenticator key, and make sure that you keep those details very safe. And if you have a smartphone, he will help you to log your account in on your phone, so that you can always monitor what is happening directly from your phone. Do you have a smartphone?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, good. So try and get back to Johnson. Let him log into your account using your own phone so that you can see how the account looks like. All right?
Okay. All right. I
Yes.
will check him up tomorrow.
All right, good. And so thank you so much. We might not be able to take other comments tonight because of time. We already have gone 44 minutes and 30 seconds in the meeting. And so I want to appreciate us all for uh, the effort so far. I will schedule a meeting within the week, perhaps, or probably when we get into the month of April, uh, for us to be able to discuss more other avenues, we have less than 2,000 right now to be able to uh, attain 55,000. So probably within the week or in the month of April, if we are unable to get another milestone, we might schedule a meeting to give us updates and also to discuss on other avenues that we can use to fast track this entire process. And so I want to, on behalf of all the leaders and executive, appreciate us all for coming on board tonight and also for taking your time to listen to the entire process. No, we have gone out of time, sir. We already have gone over 45 minutes in the meeting. And so, yes, Reverend Enaturu, what is your concern? Because we are running out of time right now.
Please. All right, thank you very much. Please, I just want to know the total number we have attained because I network did not allow me to come in on time. Thank you.
All right. We have a total of 53,027 completed migrations on the exchange. We are going to share the recorded version of this meeting. So those of you who came in late will be able to listen to the recorded version of the meeting and also get yourself properly informed. And so thank you very much. This is the much we can take for tonight.